All right, part two of our live stream. I send the girls to the pool. All right, so yeah, I hope everybody's holding out pretty good. These are uncertain times, eh? So basically, for us, we're in a region here where things are. We were slow to the game, to the party. So we are in spring break mode. Um, hey, no school. Definitely no school. No daycare. Spring break for here. So we were out. We had a prior booking. So we're gonna leave promptly in the morning. There's nobody here. There's absolutely nobody. We do not run into anybody in this establishment. So no danger there. And the girls are off to the pool, and there's nobody at the pool. And so we got to enjoy the next 2 weeks of staying home. So the big challenge for us was to make up a list of how to keep the little one entertained or occupied. Obviously, we can't do a weekend type schedule, especially for us to have work. We're lucky. Both of us can work from home if needed, but there are a lot of people who cannot work from home, and they have either type of job they're doing, that kind of stuff. Is Antigonish in isolation? Considering that they closed all the schools, they closed the libraries, the CBRM, Cape Breton Regional, they posted this morning they're closing all their municipal buildings. I assume the malls will start to close their hours. Walmart will start reduce their hours, that kind of stuff. So, I think pharmacies and grocery stores are still going to be okay. I believe somewhere it was mentioned it's an essential service. I assume they're going to maybe limit people going in into these places. I don't know. I know that the afternoon cycle now of after lunch Eastern Atlantic time, which is 11, they're going to start doing the press conferences. So the CBC News Network is free. So if you don't have that on your cable package, you can stream it through live. And Nova Scotia did their thing too. So it's pretty shit's getting real, and for us, we're not overly concerned. I mean, yes, I've been on the road for the last little while, but I think I kind of finished all my travel before things kind of got a little crazy. I know for me, I've been symptom free for the last 10 days, so I think I'm pretty good. There was a little note about a certain number of Air Canada flights. Luckily, my flight was not in that at all, and so it's good. This is the really crappy thing about it is that you have uh, spring break, you have flu season, you have the for those in Canada that typical time of year where you're just traveling down south, traveling somewhere warm, Europe and all that. Anyway, so there's a lot of travel in Canada right now just to begin with. So it's really, it's one of these weird things here. I know a lot of anecdotal friends on the anecdotal friends who are posting on their Facebook and all that stuff that their parents are in Europe. If they need to get back home today, it's going to cost them $10,000. Other friends, they're in a hotel, they're not scheduled for another week or 2 weeks. They're getting booted out of the hotel in France. All these stories going on. This afternoon, closing off the border in Canada. Basically, there'll be some exceptions for U.S. citizens. I know where we are now. There is an American plate in the car in the parking lot, so I don't know if that couple's gonna head back home. But I mean, things are getting shut down. Like I said, any municipal building, recreation facilities are going to get shut down. Daycares are shut down for the next little while. We just got a note here that we don't have to worry about daycares in terms of in Nova Scotia. Looks like government is going to step in and make sure people don't have to pay out of pocket because this is the problem here, right? This is the problem where you have everything shutting down and people still need to work, still need to make a paycheck. So, like I said, I'm pretty in an easy boat. I can make my money off my computer with my day job and my side job. A lot of people that don't do that have that facility, or they have to arrange daycare, childcare, that kind of stuff. And those people here, they're oh man, it's going to be scary for a lot of people. So even this morning, there was people who didn't know where things were at and all that stuff. So anyway, hopefully things will get better. Anyway, yeah, basically, I'm looking at 3 weeks of staying at home. I don't know where you are at. I know over the weekend I've talked to a few people in the Washington D.C. area, Maryland, Ottawa, Toronto, Calgary. They're all doing various levels of isolation. I don't know if anybody on your side is doing stuff. I think the best place to get information is from established news sites. Well, not established news sites. Twitter government government accounts. So go make up a list. I do have a list called the Local EMO list on my Twitter account, and it's either police, government, news channels, and get that news that way. You know, I help. I am staying away from Facebook. There is so much garbage on Facebook. The neighborhood group pages. Stay away from that. That is the stupidity level on those group pages. Mm. I'd rather just go on Twitter and look for the official flag or emblem on the account and read the latest. Or they've been doing a pretty good job streaming the news and all that stuff. So, if you want to get your news, get it that way. I'm not here to judge, but man, crazy. Those zombie apocalypse people not looking too crazy now, eh? Anyway, what else is what's going on? Look, folks, I had a few things going on today. We were going to do some relaxation and stuff like that. So I got a few things in terms of channel wise that I wanted to do for the last little while. I do got some new products here that I wanted to try out and give you guys a little bit more of a review. I'm probably going to wait till later in the see what you guys are thinking. If you guys don't have, I don't know about, I know at home, we got a few hour drive coming back tomorrow. And other than keeping the little one occupied, I know for me, for my work day, I can work from home, but I do need to break up my day to keep the little one occupied. So luckily, the outdoors is still a recommended, still good, still safe to go outside. Watch all my vids exactly. This is the time for YouTubers to increase their monetization by watching their videos several times over. So just queue up all of your playlists and play them continuously because that's all the time you'll need to do. Now, but seriously, with Steve out there, down there, you're closer to a metro area than the Carolinas there, North Carolina, often Charlotte. So for us, we're still in a rural area. So we are still getting just little peppers, little sprinkles of people coming back from Cuba, from Europe, that kind of stuff. So they're stopping usually in the airport in Halifax, and then they're driving to Moncton or whatever, the Fredericton, that kind of stuff. So it's could be pretty easy for things to kind of siphon off, especially today that no international flights are coming into any of the airports in Canada, only Toronto, Montreal, Calgary, Vancouver, and plus that, you have the provincial jurisdictions. They're sending their own people to screen people because that's one of the problems with the Canadian border services. They're bringing in, you're not really screening anybody. Nowadays, you have this computer screen that you basically do your customs that way and you just pass through. But anyway, what we got here? People are in Florida going to the malls, beaches, restaurants like nothing has changed. All depends where you are, eh? It's I know for us it hasn't quite hit. I think the hysteria factor is starting to hit, especially here in the smaller towns. I think the hysteria is going to affect a lot of people. You know, right? It's like, why, like I was just down in town and they're like, are you closing? And Buddy, who's manning the chicken fingers station, said, not going to close until somebody dies, which is probably never, which is a good attitude. But then I went next door to the liquor store and they're like, I'm waiting for the email to tell me to be home. I don't want to accept cash. I just want people to do the tap with the debit and all that stuff. So I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if you guys get any comments here, but anyway, I'm just going to go on my YouTube since I got some time. I got lots of time. We got some comments on the videos. All right, what we got here? Oh, we got some spam accounts on my inReach. Oh, for those who've been wondering, I got this device with me here, which is the Zolio, which is your two-way satellite communicator. This is going to be my go-to satellite device. inReach is going bye-bye. This is it. Pretty slick. I've done a video on that. You can take a look at that. For those who are contemplating Spot to inReach, this is a good one to get your hands on. Oh, Steve. Steve got a good comment here. Wait until they block roads, isolating metro areas. That is actually the fear, and this is why we cut down our travel by a day. We're in a rural area. Nobody's out here. Nobody is out here. I can show you the parking lot. There's nobody out here. And we're gonna head back home to Halifax. Yeah, what happens if they start screening at the border and stuff? Right? It's gonna be a little scary. I know for me, you do, all the social distancing and washing hands and all that. I agree. There's nothing wrong with that. When we were driving up here over the weekend, up at Montana's, and I believe Montana's is in the States. Anyway, we're a little bit after lunch on the weekend, should be packed, but it was dead, absolutely dead. We went in there, we had a whole table full of staff just waiting for people to come in. And I asked the girl, I was like, what's going on? It's like for the last 3 days, this place has been dead. So you think about the impacts this have to people who are running restaurants, coffee shops, all that stuff, right? Even if you do limit 50% people to sit in and all that stuff. I mean, you got people twiddling their thumbs or, are afraid for their job. I saw a thing on Tim Hortons needing a doctor's note. So you want people to already go into crowded walk-in clinics and all that to get a doctor's note so that they can call in sick from the freaking Tim Hortons. Absolutely ridiculous. They said it wasn't true or whatever, but I don't know. I can believe that kind of stuff at Tim Hortons. What else we got here? I got some comments here. I noticed I got a little zit here on my side of my mouth here for some reason. I'm picking at it. Okay. All right, awesome, Steve. Good move. Zolio, baby. That's where it's at. I'm gonna do a live stream. I'm gonna do actually. I have another video I have to do where I'm gonna get this deactivated, and I'm gonna run through the unboxing and the activation process on here. It is very slick in terms of how they got stuff figured out. If you've done this once before with either with Spot or inReach, it is so similar. It's very intuitive. So if you're a returning customer to these type of services, you can pick up this a lot. Anyway, hopefully Steve was asked some questions last week, and I just happened to have my Zolio, and I was just sending him messages through the Zolio and through the messaging app, and hopefully that gave him a good idea of how things work in terms of check-ins and messages and all that stuff. So evaluating a new product and just happened to be there. Hey, I'm just doing my part, just seeing if he likes it or not. Uh, you know, it looks good. Messaging app is good. I know the biggest issue with this between, let's say, the inReach was that you needed to jet aside or chuck aside your GPS. And you got to use like an inReach device with a GPS and your maps and this and that and Spot. Spot's not great, a little bit more expensive depending on what you do. Um, you know, that kind of stuff. So with this, I gotta say, so far the process to getting onboarded, getting a service plan, getting things working, and the fact that the way that we use these devices, I know the way that I use the app on the phone, this is clipped on the backpack or on the dash of the truck or whatever, and that's how I use it, and that's how I was using the inReach. I didn't really use the GPS, I used it because I was doing bare bones stuff. But if you're doing like specialized GPS work and you need Map 66 or something else, and you need two-way communication, this is just as good as anything else. Anyway, Steve was mentioning there, it took him 20 minutes to cancel a subscription. Once they reel you in, man, they don't want to let you go. But at least you can suspend your service. So basically, with the Iridium service, if you look at it, how you can operate your Iridium, suspend it, so you pay a little bit less for suspension. See, don't deactivate, suspend it, get different plans. You can switch anytime you want. So, I mean, the stuff that's on the Iridium network seems to be a lot more flexible. I'm just going through my YouTube comments here, see if there's anything going on here. I am not traveling to Calgary anymore. Last week, my project that I was on that made me travel to Calgary for the last 6 months, I had to essentially stop because the client canceled the project. The gas prices dropped ridiculously. Their share price, let's say $20 a share, and it dropped down to like $2 because of the price drop last week. And they're like, "Yeah, we're canceling all extra spending, boys." And then on Friday, a competitor in the oil and gas industry up in Alberta, they did the same thing too. They canceled all their capital projects. So I was part of their capital project, and so one, not traveling to Calgary anymore. Two, don't have a job. Well, don't have a job. Don't have a project assigned. Three, I do have a job. I do manage a number of resources where we're good for a little while, and we don't need to be traveling. So, in terms of work, I think we're good. But the downside of that, I can't get on any new projects, Toronto or Montreal, that kind of stuff, because no travel. And two, a lot of businesses are pushing back start dates. So we had a bunch of stuff that was starting work in April, May, June. That's going to get pushed back probably to the next quarter. It's whether or not you can survive this next quarter. So this is going to be, you can tell which company is going to treat their people good. And I saw this little thing here on Twitter. Virgin Airlines, they're giving their basically 8 weeks unpaid leave to their employees, and Richard Branson has billions of dollars. Won't take much. Won't take much to cover their salaries. Same thing with the NHL. NHL canceled their game, canceled their season, and the Calgary Flames. Calgary Flames, the shittiest little team in the NHL. Billionaire owner who lives in the UK because he wants to dodge taxes wasn't paying the $20 or the $40 a game for the person who parks the cars or hands out hot dogs. And the worst part, I had to see a GoFundMe page where the hockey players are just shelling out a couple grand here and there. I was like, millionaires just giving pittance to the support people who clean their jock straps. Outrageous. Outrageous. Steve was saying they took him, there's no way to unsubscribe from Spot. You have to call them. Same thing. I want to unsubscribe from the New York Times because their news is too accurate and too good. Actually, no, what happened was I had their digital editions. I was paying $8 a month, and then they jumped it up to like 24, 25, and I said, no, I'll go to Washington Post. And anyway, they brought it back down to 8, but I had to call to try to cancel that. Bourbon aged red wine or bourbon barrel wine, well, whatever, folks. Oh man, still a good time to go walk in the woods. Ain't gonna get sick in the woods all by yourselves. Especially out here today. Holy smokes. It was minus 15 wind chill out here this morning. No virus. Nothing is living at minus 15. No ticks. Nothing like that. Let me just do a quick refresh on Twitter. Oh, low power mode. Low power mode. Don't gather in groups of more than 10, Trump tells Americans. Hey. Wait, we got a little bit of a market slide. What else we got here? It's funny. I was reading a few articles on centralized healthcare. How the countries who has essential getting warm, time for me, social distancing. Social distancing, folks. Get on your kayak, on your bike, go in the woods. Anybody. Now, I did bring my Nintendo Switch with me and playing some Switch, which is probably one of the better consoles that you have. Nintendo Switch. Friday, I think a lot of people are excited. Animal Crossings. I guess that's out. I don't know. What else we got here? Yeah, so I was reading a couple articles on health countries with centralized health offices or health departments trickling down the information and organizing things. And then I was reading an article here just a few moments ago that Trump was telling states they're on their own if they want ventilators or medical equipment, that kind of stuff, which is, pretty harsh. Hopefully, it's not a good accurate. Hopefully, they'll change that around because you need a. This is one of these things where you need a centralized outreach. But let me see here. Let me see if there's anything else. Anything else on the Twitter feed, yo? Libraries are closed. Council meetings are closed. Oh man, poor Dan. I tell you, Dan, the next couple of weeks is going to be tough, man. For those of us, like I was saying earlier, those of us who can work from home, great. But you get kids, and it's like 3 weeks. And I was telling my team this morning I have to manage about 10 people. And I told them, for those with kids and you don't want to come to an office environment, stay home. For those with kids, you may have to adjust your office hours because I'm going to adjust my office hours. There's going to be a 2-3 hour period, either in the morning or the afternoon, that I will need to take the child outside and make her run laps somewhere to calm the frick down because she'll be spending a morning watching YouTube or trying to do homework and all that stuff. And especially for those who don't have support. The missus, she can do that kind of stuff, but so we can kind of interplay. But man, for people who are like single parents having to do with this, well, that's just it, Steve. Steve says here you're going to see a lot of kids in the public and all that stuff. Like I said, I think more rural areas have a little bit of a leg up. But I mean, you're in cities, subways, buses. We in Halifax are limiting the number number of people on the ferry. They'll go across one end to the other of Dartmouth and Halifax. I think there's some bus routes. And I think either you got to do some cities here in Canada, you got to do one-way stops. Basically, you get on, you get off. You don't dilly-dally on that. Let's see, New Brunswick, one more case, one more presumptive case in New Brunswick. And this is probably related to the lady that went in France, got back, probably got her husband infected, and a few other people. Be a woman in her 20s who recently traveled to Greece. Sorry, totally different. Resides in Zone 2 in southern New Brunswick. I think that's Moncton. No, Moncton Zone 1. Montreal is a ghost town. I can imagine. I can imagine it's a ghost town. Ottawa, I saw a picture of Ottawa, downtown Ottawa today. That's a ghost town. It's a ghost town where I'm at right now. Without the virus, this place would be still a ghost town. This is a ghoster town. Oh. Let's see what we got here. I'm just going Twitter. Twitter, like I said, Twitter, certain sources, government, city, provincial, state sources, pretty much all I'm going to read. Everybody's going to retweet everything, but set up a Twitter list and do that. That's probably the best thing you can do. I noticed Trump is changing hats. He doesn't have his MAGA hat. He has a blue hat. Trudeau's beard is looking good. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? Schools. I don't feel too bad about universities because they're pretty much almost done. The next couple weeks they have to do their exams, so they might have to do their exams. So maybe I don't feel too bad about that. Social distancing. Airlines. It's going to be very interesting with airlines if they're going to help people get back or screen people before they get on. But man, you think about it. People are in Europe on vacation and they say, frick it, we're going to pay the 10 grand to leave today from Spain or whatever they're at. And they get to the line, and let's say Buddy didn't sleep for the night and he gets just get a little fever. I mean, you don't sleep for 24 hours, you're super stressed. Flu season already, right? Trump announced no more than 5 gathering. Is that accurate? Is that true? Must be true. Well, oh man, we got 32 cases in Ontario. Half of them been traced to the U.S., although still confirming about 10 of them. I mean, let's face it, folks. If you were traveling through a major airport in the last week, Toronto, Montreal, New York, Dallas, Chicago. Looks like Trump here on CBS News is announcing new guidelines for Americans to follow. He's showing little PowerPoint slides. So if you're on CBS News, you can stream that stuff. I watch that regularly on the weekends, so you can watch that. What was that here? I don't know about these interest rates going down to zero, if that's going to help. Yeah, I'll be working, but I'll be out camping. This is a good excuse for me to get outside in the woods. 2 global news employees in Toronto tested positive. This is from Jesse Brown from Canada Land, so somewhat reliable source. He's linking to a Global News Canada story here. Let me just quickly read. 2 confirmed cases from the Toronto news station. Both employees quarantined. Well, I mean, anybody who's working in customs, airports, cruise ships, news conferences. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. NPR says President Trump announced new coronavirus guidelines for Americans to follow over the next 15 days, recommending all to avoid groups more than 10 people, avoid discretionary travel, as well as eating and drinking at bars, restaurants, and food courts. So let me click on this NPR story. Let me just retweet this on my Twitter account. You guys can take a look at that. So we got, I don't know anything bold that comes up here. So yeah, crazy folks. Malls are cutting down their hours. Obviously, I don't really care about the sports leagues. Stock markets are just plunging. All right, 5, 10 people. I mean, the point is, in Nova Scotia, they said don't gather more than 150 people, and that's going to get cut down. They shut down all the libraries. Anywhere you can go with your kid to keep them amused is shut down. Only the woods are open, folks. That's about it. I got a new hat. Did anybody want to see my new Tilly hat? Chat in the comments. I want to see a poll first before I put it on because it's awesome looking. The Dow is down 2,700 points. God, I hope people don't have their retirements tied to stocks. Oof, it's going to be rough. Do I have mine tied? I have no idea. I don't really follow that stuff. I know I'm going to work until I'm 80. So I know I have no Freedom 55 future, so it doesn't matter. All right. Let me know if you want to see my new Tilly hat. Put a comment. Just quickly doing a quick scan. Oh, thank you, Steve. I'll show you my brand new Tilly hat for the love of God. All right, so I got a new. As you guys know, I've been out west for the last 6 months. And until the last couple weeks, I was in Dallas and Calgary. So, two places where you can wear cowboy hats. So, I've been going to the couple places where you can get cowboy hats and was looking at it, just didn't feel the love. So I said, nah, that's not my style. So I got a new Tilly hat. So hang on, let me do a review. All right. Got this, which almost looks like an Outback hat or a cowboy hat. But this is Tilly hat. Wool felt. Has these stupid ear warmer things for the winter. Now I say stupid. It was minus 15 this morning, so it kept my ears pretty warm. Anyway, doesn't have any stiffening or anything like that, but I was rewatching Steve. I was rewatching the TV show Justified. Love that show, and I was trying to talk like Boyd Crowder, use 40 words where you can use like 3 words. So I was trying to do that. So, I was like saying to the lady here at the hotel, I would like to secede my term of residency or that, some nonsense like that. And she was like, what? What are you saying? Why are you talking funny? Right, wool felt hat, nice and warm. Headband stitched on, already starting to crack a little bit. Leather's not good. So I went to Tandy Leather and I bought me a new strap and I'm gonna make me a new headband and I got a little buckle set and all that stuff. So anyway, that's that. Only 2 people are hospitalized in Canada, says Dr. Yaffe. Interesting. Frozen 2 on Disney Plus for those who are interested. Disney had decided to not wait until June for Frozen 2. So you will know that I will be downloading that for the little one to shut her up for our 4-hour car drive tomorrow. No, actually, she's been pretty good. It's the mom. Mama needs to quiet because she's like, either between trying to sell the house, coronavirus, and this and that. It's like, woman, Talk about something else. Show me some cat emojis or something. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's like it's funny because she's starting to get into Twitter too. So she's telling me all this Twitter stuff, and it's like, yes, I know. I saw it 20 minutes ago. Scroll faster, sweetie. No, kidding. Okay, New Brunswick shuts down all essential government services. So if you're in New Brunswick, for those who are watching, don't know where that is. That's above Maine, squeezed between Quebec and Nova Scotia. And Nova Scotia, I had to do this when I was down in the States last couple times. I say I'm from Halifax. And they're like, Virginia? No, Nova Scotia. And they're like, huh? The ocean. Oh. All right. I'll just say I'm from Maine. Probably just as easy. Probably the same look of bewilderment. Okay, let me take a look here. The chief medical officer in New Brunswick, new presumptive case from the person in the 20s from Greece. Monday, facilities, reducing surgical access. We need it today, including cancer, limb-saving emergencies, and serious incidents, obviously. This is funny. We have a friend who has her breast cancer right now, going in for chemo, and it was getting dirty looks today when she was going to the hospital. People were like, she's cutting the line and all that stuff. But she was going up to her chemo sessions. So I was like, calm down, people, calm down. Unless there's a piece falling off, you can hold on for a second, right? It's that kind of stuff here that gets me. Hey, how about that guy who hoarded all those Purell bottles in Tennessee? Holy shit! He had, and then today, over the weekend, he had his 2 storage lockers of Purell, and then this morning I was reading Washington Post and New York Times. He was like giving them away, and then it's based on AG getting involved. That was hilarious. But man, I was reading again. Don't read any of these comments. It's like this is first comment. This is not what price gouging laws are meant for. It's like no, that's exactly what it's meant for. Exactly what it's meant for. Hilarious. I mean, hilarious. The point that this guy went to all these rural stores to clean out their shelves where people probably who needed it. Forget the metro. Man, crazy. Absolutely crazy. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I don't feel bad for that guy at all. Let's see here. British Columbia announced that 3 more people in the province have died due to the COVID. All 3 deaths were in connection to an outbreak in a Vancouver care home. Care homes. That's gonna be a rough run. Have you guys seen that little joke that's been going around about this an OK Boomer correction affecting all the OK Boomers? The Canadian Red Cross. Are you at home with your child? Below tips to keep activities and stuff like that. And there is no link. That's the biggest thing. If you have kids and you gotta find stuff for them to do, getting a trickle of free resources for schools and online games. But the problem, we just had it with my girl here this morning. We just had it here. She's only good for like an hour or maybe even less. And then she gets all angry because something's not working with. The point is the parent still has to sit next to the child. So again, how can you work from home and you got to deal with the child pretty much the entire day so that she doesn't lose her mind? And this is gonna be tough. I mean, for those who don't have 6-year-olds or kids, or I don't know what age a little bit more independent, 10 maybe 11, I don't know. What's the age they can go to the fridge and get food and stay on the grid? All right, what do we got here? Crazy. All right, Disney to close hotels, all retail stores from CTV. Asked how he'd rate his response on a scale from 1 to 10. Trump says, I'd rate it a 10. Touts travel restrictions on China. China's not where you need to look, I don't think. Europe seems to be the freaking hotbed. Holy moly. PEI, Newfoundland. Newfoundland's starting to get theirs. Oof. I'm just scrolling through Twitter. So this is how you enjoy the live stream. Watch me watch Twitter. Oh yeah, work is better from home. I mean, work from the way I work for a large consulting company. 350,000 employees, or very big. I'm built to work remote or work from anywhere. So I have no problems working from home. I know that my wife is able to work from homes. The problem, I think, becomes if you get up in your pajamas and you start working, you stay working. Like, a lot of people, they'll stay at their desk for 8 hours. You look at some cubicles. I mean, this is the period where you got to get up and move around. You got to break up your day. And this is what I mean. Like I was saying to my team, is like, man, you may have to adjust your office hours. Either you need to find some mental health because you're going to be cooped up for us, 3 weeks. People are going to be stuck in their houses for 3 weeks, going to the occasional run to the groceries or just eating out, eating frozen crappy Michelina's dinners. Ugh, fuck. Um, it's going to be rough. Not everybody can do that, and hopefully for those who can, who are doing the Tims and doing the restaurants or still kind of open, forcing people to go in. I mean, they're probably going to reduce the amount of staff there. Steve predicts the amount of babies coming in 9 months would be called coronials. That's fantastic. I love that. Love that. Okay, I don't. Well, what's wrong with my Twitter? Start moving. Here we go. However, people are asking about which app to use for telecommuting. All the influencers were saying Zoom. Use Zoom. Zoom is a piece of garbage for web conferencing. Use WebEx. WebEx. GoToMeeting changed their names. They're something else, but Zoom is garbage. Slack. Have access to Slack. Slack is not bad. Slack is not bad. But WebEx, I use WebEx. I've been using it for a couple of years now. Works really good. I think now they have a free package, so you can actually, if you're curious about WebEx, there's some free stuff right now. And you have some of these companies who are opening up the vaults a little bit, so at least you can do some stuff. So it'll be kind of good. Anyway, folks, I'm down. I got my notification here. I'm down to 10%, so I'm going to probably shut it off here in a second. Katie Simpson from CBC says President Trump is asked about whether he should shut the northern border with Canada. We'll think about it. If we don't have to do it, that would be good, he says. Yeah, WebEx Teams, not that great. Not that great, and Microsoft Teams is not that great either. Just the WebEx, the Cisco WebEx, just the WebEx video conferencing, fantastic. Teams, I haven't installed on mine. It got installed by mistake. There's no point, especially when you're using Slack, Messenger, some other desktop messaging tool. Works pretty good, but I mean, yeah, Teams, Teams. Whatever apps I use for work. You know, use we have our own email service, Box, drop files, WebEx. Between Box, WebEx, Slack, that's about it. All right, folks, I think I'm done. Gonna finish downing this wine. I think I got some red wine lips. Doesn't care. I don't care. End of days. Doesn't matter. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. I'll be doing another live stream later on in the week. See if everybody's online. Talk to you guys a little bit later. Thanks for joining Dan and Ottawa guy, which I forget your name. I forget it. You had different names when I see you on the profile.